and prepare for the amazing. What you will see is great racing. They got skills from front to back. These lobbies you see are stacked. Enjoy the racing at its best. Battles wage from first to last. The action is wall to wall. We will cover it all. Here we go. Yeah, yeah. We're all here to be entertained. These drivers go hard and not restrained. Cheer for your favorite, you will not regret. The spectacle you watch, you will never forget. Come on, enjoy the racing at its best. Battles wage from first to last. The action is wall to wall. We will cover it all. Here we go. Enjoy the racing at its best.
Well, hello and welcome to Fast Ginger's channel here. Coverage of Signal 13's World Endurance Championship. We have Hyper-cars and GR3s here. And we are at Marina. And from the appearance of it, we are getting ready to start qualifying from the looks of it. And Hypercars are first to go. And we will do, I believe, 10 minutes out lap, 2 flying laps, and then they're done. And then the next group, the GR3s, will take off. So we need to, there we go, get that off the screen here. So we have SBR here, Jim Shady, Matt, and Rotten Kraut. And then we have just 9 other cars, so 4 Hypercars and 5 GR3s, and it looks like should be good racing because all these drivers are pretty close together here. And we are closing in on the final sections here. We do have the racetrack here, and we are now going through that. Here's 13 and 14, 14, and then down this will short shoot into 15, and then the pit straight here, or pit entrance, and then the final turn 16 onto the start finish line. So we have SBR, Jim Shady, Matt, and Rotten Crowd all getting ready to start their first flying lap. And I'm not sure what the track limits are for this track. I think there are different levels of it, so depends on how. There's like none, normal, and like championship or something like that, which is even more strict. This has always been the trickiest part of the track, I feel. And into this fast section and into the left, which is kind of an increasing radius. These cars should be flat out through here until this break. And then into the hotel section here. I think this is where Latifi bit it into the wall and created the havoc for Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen championship. It's right through there, and it gave Max his championship. SBR here in first place. Speaking of Max, and I believe that is a Red Bull livery there. Nope, Expel. Alright, so we got SBR on pole so far. Matt in second place. Jim Shady in third, and going into the pits. And Rotten Crowd in fourth for now. And our GR3s have entered the racetrack. SBR is having some difficulty getting traction. Matt is on his way. Looks like he's having a little better time of it than SBR was. Then Rotten Crowd here in his Porsche. Famous old Porsche 917 livery. Based on what I'd seen earlier, I don't think SBR is going to improve, as I yawn. Here he comes through the pit entrance, using all of the curb, and he goes through and does not improve. Matt coming through and did not improve. And Rotten Crowd coming through way wide. And pretty much equaled his time from the looks of it. So here we go. Here's Uncle Jesse, English Andy, Don P, J Mac, and Forfan in his Merc. So Uncle Jesse will be the first one to start the flying lap in the Gatorade Porsche. And we've got a Ferrari here. Andy in the Ferrari. Don in the Lambo. J-Mac in the other Porsche. And Forfan in the AMG Mercedes. So everybody's just got a little something different, just two Porsches. And I think they are the same Porsche. I know there's two GR3 Porsche, but this looks like the new one. If you have the new one, you use the new one. So Jesse coming Got a few more curves to make the finish line here. Getting bored here with Uncle Jesse. Brake right about that line crossing the road. Little lift there. Should be flat out through this one and the next one. Little lift because of medium tires. Kinda missed the apex there. Double apex, 2 corners. Kinda treat it as one big long curve. And lift and then brake. And here we go. So the first flying lap, he would be on pole for now. English Andy's coming through. He is in second place. Don P. Comes across in third. J Mac here. See if he can improve. Jumps up to pole. Fan here. See what he can do. And he jumps up 1 spot. So this group looks pretty close. J-Mac up on his time. Uncle Jesse will be the first one to cross the line. See if he can make an improvement. Andy looking racy back there behind him. And it appears the system is cooperating with me and showing all the original liveries these folks worked so hard on. And we have a new free content coming out tomorrow, Thursday, with 3 road cars. One of them is all electric and the other 2 are 4-door sedans. So let's see here. Let's get on board with Uncle Jesse, who will come across. English Andy looks like he's come across in pole, pushing J-Mac down, and then J-Mac turns right around and takes pole back. Fan coming through, and he improves to 3rd place, and that should do it for qualifying. So, and talking about the DLCs, what I'm interested in is the Caterham 7, the Lotus 7. So that should be a fun little club car. The One Make Series racing car. So I'm assuming that will be pretty popular if it ends up being a decent driving car. I know several leagues have looked at that car and are going to set up some fun events, maybe some one-day racing events, and it'll probably later on this fall and winter make up a One Make Series. It'd be kind of fun. So we are here waiting on everybody to be done. So let's go ahead and look at the standings. We have the Hyper-cars. Matt is in the championship lead by 3 points over Jim Shady. And then Ricky B in 3rd, SB in 4th, Castro 5th, Rottenkraut 6th, Snafu in 7th, Blue Hound in 8th. And then the bottom 3 there haven't really been in the race lately. And we'll look at the GR3s. J-Mac is in the lead, tied with Uncle Jesse, so that's cool. And then fourth fan is not too far behind. Andy is there in fourth, basically third. And Ray there in fifth. Mick 6 and Don P in 7. So Don P, just by racing today, will move up a spot. So we'll go ahead and click that off there. And we can look at this race here. We've got SBR on pole with a 142.4. Matt in second. Jim Shady third. Ruttenkraut fourth. And then J-Mac pole position. Andy second. Fourth man third. Jesse fourth. And Don P in fifth. So should be a good race there between the top running cars. So they should stay pretty close together with I think the Hyper-cars will be really racy together. I can see J-Mac, English Andy, 4fan, Dun Jesse, and Don P all sticking together too. So should be an interesting race. 40 minutes here in Yaz Marina. Appears it is starting to get dark here, so I'm assuming it'll be a nighttime race when it does start. And it is going to be starting shortly here. And let me give a shout out to my friends over at Rob's Classic Racing channel. We'll get that off here. We can talk to them in a little bit. But I need to start spectating here and getting all the display stuff going. There we go. But like I said, Rob's Classic Racing YouTube channel, go check them out. Good group of guys, good group of racing, good commentary. So here we go, getting ready to start the race with SBR going into turn 1. Matt closing in right behind him. Let's go look at these GR3s. Everybody is single file through there. Everybody is single file through there as well. Jim Shady getting a little wide there. Andy right on the tail of J-Mac. 4fan is right behind him. Uncle Jesse dropped back a little bit, and there's Don P. Here we are in the hairpin. Matt going in hot. Jim Shady looking to make some moves up into second place. Matt covering the inside lane. Jim kind of moving in. Got a little lag action going on here with these two cars here, particularly Jim Shady. Ruttenkraut there just lurking a little bit behind. Let's see what's going on up here with our GR3s. J-Mac still in the lead. Andy is second. 4fan kind of looking at the inside, putting the nose down there so he can know he is there. And then Jesse's right there, and Don P as well. Let's get up here. SBR's starting to stretch it out a little bit over top of Matt. Matt being followed by Jim Shady. Jim Shady's looking a little unstable or internet wise. That will make it difficult for other drivers. So we'll get up here to GR3s. J-Mac leading the way. Andy and 4fan That looks like your battle there, just like in the hypercars. Poor fan, is he gonna make a move? Is staying right there on the back of English Andy, and it's not really a place to make a pass. There aren't really a whole lot of places to make a pass at this track. This one you don't have, you got a little bit of slipstream action, but it's fast enough into the corner that you don't have to brake super heavy, so it doesn't really create a situation for a pass. Maybe down here, if you get a good run. Kind of compromised his entrance into those corners, so this is where you can maybe make a pass if someone makes a mistake. SBR in the lead, Matt, Shady, Rotten Kraut, J-Mac, Andy and Forfan. Jesse's dropped back a little bit. Don P has dropped back a little bit as well. This seems to be her battle for the moment. Forfan keeping the pressure on the back of Andy. Can he make a pass going into this stadium section coming up? Looks like he's a little too far back to make a braking try. And cannot get it done through there. And here we are coming into... Where are we now? Oh, this is the long straight going into number 9. This is Marina Drive. Going into nut turn 9, I call patience, because you gotta show a little patience, because you wanna start accelerating as soon as you can, but you gotta be patient about it or go wide there on the exit. So SBR here with a 4-second lead over Matt. Matt stretched it out, second ahead of Jim Shady. Rotten Kraut trying to make some distance up on Jim Shady there, so he can get in contention for 4th. J-Mac, 2-second lead over Andy. And a little separation there between Andy and Forfan. See if we can see anything. Not really. So there's Uncle Jesse there. Don P. So let us run through here and take a look at some of these cars here. So here we go. Here is SBR in the BMW, sponsored by Expel. So very nice. There we go. And we'll go ahead and look at Matt here in his Porsche in the Hydro Aluminum blue and silk gold, or blue and yellow, or maize. We got Jim Shady here in the Adidas Ferrari. Got a little close to Matt there. Looks like that Ferrari may have a little bit more speed on these straight lines. Closing in on the back of Matt a little bit. And we'll look at Rotten Crowd here in his vintage Porsche livery. In his Porsche number 44. And we'll follow back here to J Mac in his Iron Dames Porsche. And we'll give English Andy a look here in his United States Air Force Ferrari here. Got the Skunk Works on the front, which was, I think it was Lockheed Martin. Came up with the spy planes that were like big glider wings and many other top secret type of airplanes. And we'll jump back here to Forfan and the Benny, I guess. It's another Iron Lynx car. AMG Mercedes with the yellow headlights, which I hate at nighttime. And we'll jump back here to Jesse in the Gatorade. Faf Porsche. Coming through the hotel lobby there. And let's take a look at Don P here in his Lambo. In his Lamborghini Motorsports Huracan. With his ombre paint job. Black and tan. Isn't that what you call a Guinness? A black and tan? So there you go. So here's a good look at all of your participants in this evening's race. SBR here in first place. Matt still in second, followed by Jim Shady. So they haven't really gotten away from each other. Rotten Crowd has dropped back a little bit. J Mac has maintained that 2.3 second lead over Andy. And Andy's got a 2 and almost 3 second advantage over Forfan. But Forfan has some fuel advantage over Andy, so we could be looking at strategy here where you've got some fuel savings going on. And Uncle Jesse here, he's got a lot of fuel, plenty of tires. Don P has used a good chunk of his fuel, as has J Mac. So J Mac, English Andy, Forfan's a little bit better shape, maybe another lap above those other two. Uncle Jesse's got quite a few laps, so he's going to go for the overcut, so he'll stay out. And let's see what we're doing here. SBR, pretty good fuel usage there. Matt has used more fuel. Jim Shady a little less fuel. And Rotten Crowd's about equal for that. So there's your 4 hypercars. They're still within sight of each other, so nobody's really just storming off into the distance from each other. So they're all covered by about 15 seconds, and it looks like they are closing in on the back of the GR pack, so there will be some lap traffic there. Hello there, viewer. Yeah, the WEC cars are very nice. It's good to have two separate divisions racing together. It makes it interesting. So there is your last place GR3 car getting swallowed up here soon by the hypercar. So we'll stick through here for a little bit and see. There he is. He's getting ready to make a move. This is a rough place to get through. Don P goes a little wide, giving him the room to get through. And then Matt will be the next one to come in contact with Don P. And it looks like it'll be in a less than favorable location. And he'll get him into turn one. Can Jim Shady do the same thing before they get out of turn one? He's going on the inside. And he is safely through. So we'll come up here. Looks like Jesse is getting ready to be overtaken by SBR here. Cleanly through. So Forfan will be the next one on the hit list from the Hypercar crowd. Rotten crowd getting around Don P. Did we just... I think we've... No, what happened to Matt? We were watching something and missed Matt going from second place to fourth, so sad we missed that. Trying to watch him go through traffic and we missed an incident. Jim Shady here. Rotten crowd and getting ready to go through. Uncle Jesse here. Forfan, I think SBR has gotten around Forfan. And gotten around the English Andy, so his next victim will be first place. There goes Jim Shady around Forfan. See if Matt, he's got a lot of making up to do. He didn't, that's a 158, so he must have had a heck of a spin there. 14 seconds on his lap. And it's no fuel, no tires, so he's had a spin somewhere. So SBR around the leader of the GR3 pack, who is J-Mac. You can see that hypercar closing in quickly from Jim Shady onto J-Mac. So safely through. Rotten crowd going around. Ooh, cutting the nose off Andy there. Oh. Oh, okay. He maintained control. I thought maybe he had lost it there. So Matt is 7 seconds behind Rotten crowd. So he's got a lot of time to make up there. J-Max still in the lead by 4 seconds now. So making way for traffic has definitely put a cramp in some of these GR3 lap times. So Andy there in second place, followed by Forfan here in third. And Matt closing in on these guys in a very inopportune place. Forfan giving him a little wide berth there, but it also compromised his line through that turn, so lost a little time there to Andy in second place. J-Mac looking good there. Jim Shady, or English Andy, getting passed by Matt, who is flying up to the back of J-Mac. Matt is now he's lost 2 seconds to Rottenkraut that lap. So catching these folks in a bad passing location has definitely hindered his push back towards the front. Going around the outside of J-Mac. Going through the Clag. Through this slow technical section through here. They're right there at the 12, 13, 14 Latifi's lobby. And this would be the pit in and into 16 into the front straight. That's not very long. So we'll run through here. SBR is in first place by 6.5 seconds over Jim Shady. Jim Shady here in second place with a little less fuel. Rottenkraut here in third. Matt in fourth place. J-Mac here first place in the GR3s. Jesse has decided to go into the pits, so the GR3's fuel mileage is a little worse than the Hyper-cars. So J-Mac probably got another lap left in the tank there. Same with Andy. Forfan still in the white, so he's got a couple of laps that he can do. Don P will probably need to pit at the end of this one. And here comes Jesse out, and he has gotten over 3/4 of a tank fuel added to the car. So we have 20 minutes into the race with 19 left. So this will get him to the end of the race with no problems. So that tells me the Hypercars will need to get about definitely 3/4 of a tank, and that'll get him to the end. So J-Mac here, he is closing in on the lobby section here. So Jim Shady has decided to come in, as has Rottenkraut. So they're doing an undercut. So here is your leader of GR3s. Is he going to come in? He is coming in into the pits, as is Andy. Forfan will stay out for one more lap, I'm sure. Nope, he comes in as well, so he did not have an advantage. And Don P, if he makes it in with any fuel left, I'll be surprised. And I think he is out of fuel, but just in... Oh no! Get it! Oh! And there he goes. So he is in the pits. And there we go. So thought him at a bad time there, trying to get into the pits. It looked like it just wouldn't slow down there or go in. So SBR in the lead, Matt in second place. Jim Shady has fresh tires and enough fuel to get to the end. So is Rottenkraut. Forfan here. 3-second penalty for pit exit or pit entrance. So Uncle Jesse going back around. So Uncle Jesse there in the lead from Forfan, who will need to take a penalty. J-Mac here in third, and Andy here in fourth. So the pit stops got them all bunched right back together. So let's look at their thoughts of fuel. So Uncle Jesse has 3/4 of a tank. Forfan took over 3/4 of a tank. J-Mac just filled that thing to the top there, so he's got plenty of time. Forfan sadly taking a 3-second penalty for pit exit infringement. English Andy looking on the inside of J-Mac. Can they get it done? Coming into the heavy braking zone. It's all the lights come on, so it's getting darker, getting cooler. Track will be cooling down. Tires will be not wearing as bad. He's got a good run on him. Can he try to get him into turn one? Looks like he got a better exit. Is he going to make a move? He's looking to the inside. That Porsche, a little bit more speed on that little straight. So he pulled a little bit of distance on him to keep him from making that pass. So we come through here, got a good run, get to slipstream. Way too far back to make a dive on the inside. Maybe do something weird, do a wide entrance into a tight exit. Sometimes it's hard to pass here, so you have to get imaginative, try something different, and Hyper-car comes flying through. Andy trying to get a little sniff of slipstream there. So how far back did Forfan get? There he is. He's just right back there. So with his pace, he should be able to get caught up to those to get a little bit of a race going on. And that incident with Don P going into the pits just destroyed his race. So we'll go up here for the front here. SBR is still out on those old tires and first tank of fuel. And Matt is as well, but he will definitely have to throw it into the pits. But he's got 20 seconds over Jim Shady, so with the overcut and the less amount of time he'll have to be in the pits to take fuel, maybe it'll leap him up back there towards the front of the field. So here we go. Is he going? I mean, he has to go in. So here he comes. He's in that line. Stay in between those lines. Got close. And he comes in. SBR stays out another lap. So Matt, look at that. 1% of fuel left. So you put it right to the end of the line there. So here's Jim Shady coming across, and Matt is taking fuel on 40, 43, and then he'll enter back there on the left. Ooh, so sketchy. That connection it is. That hamster is really working hard for that internet connection. Goes way wide there. So Matt has come out. And he is 11 seconds behind Jim Shady, but ahead of Rottenkraut. So he staying out. He did make up some time because he did not need to take as much fuel on that stop. So that good strategy. Just think if he hadn't added his accident, it would have been a lot closer. So here we go. Uncle Jesse still in the lead, followed by J-Mac, followed by English Andy. SBR has come into the pits. So we got a little battle here. All front four of these GR3s are in contention for the race win from the looks of it. And here we go. Let's see where Jim Shady is compared to SBR. And SBR should maintain that lead when he comes out. So here he comes. And Jim Shady's nowhere close. So he's not even on the front. So he's got a good 7-8 second lead on Jim Shady. So that'll come down that time up there. So after everything is shaken out here, Matt trying to get around Don P there. Alright, so now that all the pit stops are done, let's go ahead and do a reset and go through the field here. So SBR is in first place, Jim Shady in second place, Matt third place, Rottenkraut in fourth place. Then we jump over to the GR3s with Jesse in first, J-Mac second, English Andy in third place, Forfan in fourth, and Don P back in fifth place there. So we've got a little bit of a battle here and a hypercar in the middle of it. Sometimes that'll spread things out, or sometimes it'll get it to come back together. So SBR should make it past these two Porsches with no problems right through there. There he goes through. English Andy is right on him. Can he make a pass? He's a little too far back to make any kind of pass there. The J-Mac, he is struggling to get through there. That car was really understeering, and English Andy got a good run on him. Is it enough to make a pass? It is not, but I think that J-Mac will stretch that lead, that distance, as you can see him. Oh, nope, now it's coming, no, going back, no, down. It couldn't decide where it wanted to go, but Andy was closing in on J-Mac. He's made it right to the tail. Good exit there from both drivers, so no attempt here going into this section here. Going into what I called patience. Down there at bottom, number 9. Here comes second place to join in the GR category. And he's just going to have to pick his way through while these, the GR3s should maintain their regular driving line. It's up to the hypercars to get around them. I mean, that's my thoughts on it. So here he goes. So now he can storm past. Just stay right there, Andy, and now get up where you need to. There you go. So he's made a clean pass on those two. And no harm done for him to fall back any towards Forfan, so he'll maintain that. Looks like he did lose a little bit to J-Mac. Uncle Jesse doing that wide out, tight exit. Wide entrance, tight exit. You have anything going on up here? Don't really see. Everybody's really stretched out there. This is the only real race we've got going on here. But it's a good one. It's the 4 cars there for first, second, third, and fourth place. This is not going to end until the end of the race. So Uncle Jesse here still in the lead over top of these other 3 drivers. J-Mac looking for a way through, and he's getting harassed here by Matt. There goes Matt. He's around 1, round 2. Kind of pinched him, and that allowed those 3 to get nose to tail. So there, we'll get back here on Andy's chase cam here, and he can smell that position. J-Mac going a little wide, but going wide is the faster preferred line through that corner. Jesse looked like he left the window open there on the bottom. J-Mac could not sneak through that window. And Shandy doing a little better. Can he make the pass? He got into the back of him. Rotten crowd, I guess he saw that behind him. And J-Mac, ooh, with a half-second penalty. Is that for track limits? English Andy using every bit of that curb to get through. Poor fan, I know he is chomping at the bit, trying to get close to this race. So J-Mac will more than likely lose this position when he has to serve the penalty here on this upcoming straight stretch here. So he's closing in onto the back of Jesse. I mean, he'll lose just this position, but he should be still right on his back bumper. So there's a little slowdown, and then he's back to full speed. So he lost position, and that kind of helps Warfan. It brings him within 1 second of the driver in front, so maybe he can use that slipstream, and the 2 of them can bump their way up towards the front again. So here we are with English Andy right on the tail of Jesse. Andy got a really good run out of the final turn on that last lap. Can he do the same thing here? Here we come. Clip that inside and then accelerate. Yeah, they both got a good run out of that. So Forfan here is, he can see those 2. Here we go, English Andy. That Ferrari did really well through this section last time. He got right onto the back of J-Mac, but he was at the limits of adhesion with those tires, so they couldn't get around him. There was no way, no place for him to make that pass. And we've got a penalty here for Forfan. Some kind of track limits, I'm assuming. So let's go back up with our hypercars. SBR 20 seconds ahead of Shim Shady, who's 8 seconds ahead of Matt, who's 8 seconds ahead of Rotten Kraut, who is in a battle here for first place between Jesse, Andy, and J-Mac. So this battle will go to the end. And here we come into a heavy braking zone. Andy was kind of looking, and he's still looking. He's on the inside. Can make it stick? He gets around him. Uncle Jesse's trying to fight back. Here we come into the lobby section. J-Mac Looks like he wants to be the next one to put Jesse a position down. English Andy, excellent pass there for the lead of the GR3 cars. But I don't think Uncle Jesse is done yet. Neither is J-Mac for that matter. Oh, good run from J-Mac. He's going to make a move. He's on the outside. He'll have the preferred exit of this, and he comes in, gives him space, but he does get through. Looks like Uncle Jesse kind of gave him the room, and it compromised his corner speed. So a little change here at the top. English Andy with the lead now over top of J-Mac, with Jesse here in third place. Forfan kind of sniffing around still, looking, hoping for a miracle here. We are 1 minute and 26 seconds away, so this will be the final lap for the Hyper-cars. So SBR will be on his last lap, as will Jim Shady and Matt Rottenkraut as well. So English Andy here in the lead. So these three drivers will have one more lap to go as they get close to the final two corners. Or no, they're further away than that. They've still got, I don't know, they may not make it to another lap. So we'll stick with these folks right here. I think they will. 30 seconds. It won't take 30 seconds to get through these next couple corners. So we'll stick with these three for now. J-Mac and Jesse going at it. Here it is. 16 seconds. 14, 13, 12. So these three will get through. Forfan will get through for one more. All right, so here is your leader, and he will be the first one to take the checkered flag. 23 seconds ahead of Jim Shady. And around the final corner onto the front straight and across the line for first place. And here comes Don P in 9th place, getting ready to take the checkered flag for GR3s. And here we go. 2nd place for the Hyper-cars, Jim Shady coming across. Jim Shady in 2nd place. And here comes Matt with a good comeback, 3rd place. Rottenkraut will be the next one to come across, and then we will have the battle for first place between English Andy, J-Mac, and Uncle Jesse. Here we go. Andy, J-Mac, Jesse. Any last lap heroics here? Last few turns. Andy's got to keep it under control here. There he goes. Clipping that corner, using every bit of that curb. Just one more turn left. And here we go. Safely through. And there's your GR3. J-Mac. Oh, Forfan makes it through. Uncle Jesse ran out of fuel and lost a position. So that was a heck of a finish there. So congratulations on that race for the GR3s. That was a pretty good race. The Hypercars kind of got a little spread out there for a little ways. But that was a good race for the GR3 mark. Those top four were duking it out for the last 20 minutes. And unfortunately, One of them ran out of gas at the end, so here's your results. SBR in first place with the fastest lap. Jim Shady second. Matt third. Roddenkraut fourth. English Andy in the Ferrari with a win. J-Mac second. Fan in third. And Uncle Jesse in fourth. Let's see here. Looks like J-Mac was going to have the fastest lap for the GR3s. So there you have it. And I think our next race is the last race of the series. And that is at Le Mans. And that will be interesting because I'm sure there will be a chance of rain at that track. So that always makes it interesting. So with 2 hours and rain and different tires and fuel usage and just a really long track, there will be a lot of strategery and a lot of things that go on there. So I think we're done here. Again, let's check out my friends there at Rob's Classic Racing on YouTube. They usually have races on Mondays and Thursdays, and just a great group of guys. And these are a great bunch of guys here at Signal 13 Racing, who we show here every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. So this series is about to finish. And here's the standings. So Matt had a good showing. Jim Shady had a good showing, but SBR had the win, so I don't know if that'll be enough to move positions, but could be. J-Mac and Uncle Jesse, so with Jesse running out of fuel and J-Mac finishing ahead of him, so that'll move that around. Fan got a good bunch of points there. English Andy with the win. So it's going to be really tight at the top of that class for the championship. And it looks like the top three for the hypercars are going to be really close as well. So good finish for this series coming up in the next week. So we will have a series champion decided next week. And thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. And we'll be here again next week for the final World Endurance Championship race. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to end the show. The stream is over, I got to go. Now is not the time to be sad. I'll be back, there's more streaming to be had. Fast Ginger will bring the best with an entertainment fest where friends are made and good times never fade. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like, you can even get notified.